The AP poll has dropped. The JP poll has dropped. So naturally, I thought it wise to take some time on the show tonight and look at the fact that every AP voter should be fired. Why? Because I'm not one. I don't think I would take on the role if they offered, but they have not offered. And so until then, this poll is our mortal enemy. We've never really agreed with it all that much. For the record, there it is. If you're listening on podcasts, don't worry, you're not missing much. The SEC and the Big Ten have 14 of the top 20 teams. So every time someone blames me and calls me a homer, hey, I got nothing to do with this. It's them. It's them. It's not me. It's them. Shame on them. We just have full trust in Texas. Everybody does. Well, not so fast, because the AP had 6 different teams get first place votes. Now, Texas was number 1, but 6 different teams got first place votes. For the record, Boise is the highest ranked G5 team. They're 25. I don't think it's by accident they're 25. I think they looked around and said, we need a G5 team to be ranked. Who is it? Boise. Put them 25. This is, of course, wrong. So let's go through this and let's just compare what the AP thinks about these teams versus the JP poll. Now, these are 2 different things that we're trying to accomplish here. The AP is trying to rank teams. They care about merit. Half of them are probably trying to predict with their rankings. We're not doing that with the JP poll. So, yes, we are trying to accomplish different things. But like, for instance, Clemson. Clemson's ranked 4th to start the season. Well, we had them 8th in the JP poll. Georgia was 5th in the AP. Well, we're higher on them. But I do understand if someone's a little lower than 3rd, like the JP poll is, on Georgia. Oklahoma and Florida, we're going to be higher on them because I truly believe a lot of these pollsters are baking in their predictions, or they're baking in how tough their schedules are. How that affects the quality of team you have, I will never know. If you want to do season predictions, just do season predictions. Why would you do that with your ranking? I digress. Illinois is 12th in the AP poll. We don't have them rated in the top 20 in the JP poll. I'll explain myself in a second. One of the most random accusations ever thrown our way is we hate Illinois. It boggles my mind how I could ever grow to hate Illinois. I know Tom Fornelli. I've been to the state several times. I have chased tornadoes in Illinois. How much more connected could I be to a state? Texas A&M, AP poll is higher than the JP poll. USC, the AP poll doesn't even have USC ranked. I was very surprised by this because as far as I know, doesn't the esteemed college football media look for every reason to give benefit of the doubt to USC? Have you people turned on Lincoln Riley this much? 30th? You got 29 teams better than USC. I think not. That's insanity. So let me talk about a couple of teams here. Clemson. Even though the JP poll has Clemson at number 8, I completely understand how you would have them ranked higher, because I'd have them ranked higher. Remember, Jesse, in my post-spring rankings, I think I had Clemson number 1. So I get it, because that's merit, and that's what you expect to happen. Does the roster top the rosters of Penn State or Bama or Ohio State or Georgia? The answer is no from a raw talent perspective. So then the next question is, forget about talent level, because Clemson doesn't lack for talent, even if they're a couple of points off. Are they a better team than those teams? And that may very well be the case. Statement win against LSU week 1, maybe, as well. USC, the close losses, they're being punished for. Meaning that they had the most famous stat of 2025 so far is that USC led 5 Big Ten games that they lost last year in the fourth quarter. Not ideal. That's not the system. That's not part of the game plan. Well, the AP voters looked at that and said, we're not giving you benefit of the doubt until you earn it. That's okay. But 30th? USC is way too low. Like, there is no world where there are 29 teams better than USC this year. I just refuse to believe it. JP poll's got them 15. I could see them higher than 15. There is some disagreement in the building between myself and the model and certain other citizens attached to our staff, but that's okay. I just think the defense is going to keep scaling up. And I don't think people are appreciating it because I think the world doesn't even associate defense with Lincoln Riley teams. And if you're going off history, you're right to do that. We'll get back to the video 1 second. Do me one quick favor. Look down. Make sure you're subscribed. Most of you are. If you're not, please do so. It's the way we keep the channel free, we keep the videos coming, and we get to do college football year-round as God intended. All right, as promised, back to the video. I just think it's a little bit of a new day around Lincoln Riley's program in that sense. At Illinois, Week 5 is their game of the year. You will never convince me otherwise. That is the gateway to either great success or crushing failure this year. Speaking of Illinois, now, I'm going to try and be responsible in how I explain this. It will fall on deaf ears. It doesn't matter. Illinois is the classic ranking versus rating team because Illinois is ranked 12th. If I had an AP ballot, I'd have them right there in the 10 to 15 range. They deserve it. They finished last year strong. Almost all of that team returns. They're very, very solid. In a power rating based model, there are well over 12 teams that would be favored against Illinois if they play tomorrow. Brett Bielema could walk in this room right now and he would say, wasn't South Carolina favored against us? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they were. Didn't we beat them? Yep. What now? I don't know. What point are you trying to make, Brett? Or any Illinois fan that is inevitably going to come at me with this. I think Connolly had him, 19th or 20th? My point is, so we had him 26th. The JP poll has him 26th, meaning it would favor 25 teams against him on a neutral field. You can disagree with that. That's fine. My point is, whether you got him 26 or 19, there's like a 2-point difference between 26 and 19 in the model right now. It is not merit-based, and it's not predictive. So that's the difference in power rating Illinois in the 20s versus ranking them in the high teens. If I ranked them, they wouldn't be 26th. They'd be a lot closer to 12th. Or, alternate theory, I hate them. I think we're going to run with theory number 2. I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to run with theory number 2. But I'm at Arizona State every other week, and I've got them lower than the AP as well. Do I hate Kenny Dillingham? How could you hate Kenny Dillingham? How could you hate that face? That is a face. Some people say, oh, you got a face only a mother could love. Kenny Dillingham's got a face that everyone's mother could love, and father and son and daughter. Everyone loves Kenny Dillingham. So why, in the wide world of college football, would I have them lower than the AP? Well, the reason is, again, their roster doesn't measure up talent for talent with some of these higher level teams. But last year it didn't either. And last year it didn't matter because they ended up being a better team. They probably played much higher than the sum of their individual parts was much better than the parts themselves would indicate it should be. Here's what I think the JP poll, the rating system over here is missing, and that is their staff returns totally intact, and that's a really underrated staff. So, I actually disagree with the JP poll. I do think Arizona State should be higher, even from a power rating perspective. Illinois, you could argue semantically 26 versus 21 or 20. I think Arizona State should definitively be higher. The SEC as a whole, the JP poll is going to have a lot of them higher. Is that because the JP poll is in the tank for the SEC? No, it's because it really values talent acquisition, and a lot of the SEC rosters are more loaded with talent than some of the others. High levels of the Big Ten are as well. So you might ask, well, doesn't that overrank them? No, not per se. But also what you have to account for is they do play each other. So, if, let's say, Georgia and Alabama play tomorrow, well, they're both consensus top 10 teams. One of them is going to be 0-1 after that. Does that make them worse than 20 other teams, or does it just mean that's a byproduct of 2 top 10 teams playing each other? Anyway, my point is, there's going to be like Tennessee, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Florida. JP polls higher on all of them than the AP is. There are 2 SEC teams the JP poll is lower than the AP on, and that's South Carolina and LSU. And that's fascinating. It's fascinating because I think a lot of people have in their minds with South Carolina, they just missed out on a playoff spot last year. They had 2 games that really could have gone their way that would have made them like a top 5 seed. That's last year, though. So there's very little carryover to that. And also with LSU, a lot of people have talked themselves into LSU. And it's not that there's a huge gap between the AP poll at 9 and the JP poll at 12. I just, as I said earlier in the show, I'm questioning how how high a level LSU opens at. I got no doubt if they win early games, they're going to be off to the races. They're a prime national championship contender. Can they start fast? Because that LSU schedule is on your screen right now, and I just want to remind you the classic pre-Halloween stat that we keep around here. How many losable games do you play before Halloween? They play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losable games before Halloween. And they got Bama and Oklahoma after Halloween. So you better have your affairs in order early.